All right, let's dive in. If you're getting ready for the IELTS, you know that listening tests can be pretty intense. Well, today, we're going to crack the code. We're going to uncover the 3 biggest hidden traps they set for you so you can walk in there feeling totally confident. Let's do this.
So, let me ask you something. Do you think the IELTS listening section is just a simple test of your English comprehension? I mean, it seems that way, right? But thinking that is actually the first mistake most people make.
You've got to think again. It's really much more like a game. And it's a game that's packed with these really clever, deliberate traps that are designed to test not just your hearing, but your focus and how you think under pressure.
And these traps have a name. They're called distractors. And honestly, they're the test's secret weapon. These are words or phrases that are designed to sound so much like the right answer, but they're not. They're the hidden traps. And understanding them, that's the key to winning the game.
Okay, so let's expose the first one. We're going to call this one the echo, and it's all about learning to spot information that gets repeated just to throw you off track.
So here's how it works. You'll see a keyword in the question on your paper. Then, in the audio, you hear that exact same word. It's like an echo. Your brain instantly lights up, right? You think, bingo, that's it. But hold on, it's a trap. That word is being used in a way that actually makes it the wrong answer.
Let me give you a super simple example. The question is, what does Maria need to buy? In the audio, you hear, I have plenty of paper. There's your echo. You heard the word paper. But then you hear that little magic word, but. But I definitely need a new pen. The real answer is the pen. So here's the big takeaway. Your strategy absolutely cannot be just matching keywords. You've got to train your brain to listen for the complete meaning of what's being said. Little words like but, however, or even actually are huge clues that an echo might be at play.
All right, you ready for trap number 2? This one builds on the last one. We're calling it the U-turn, and it's all about catching those sneaky corrections that happen right in the middle of a sentence.
This happens all the time in real conversation, right? A speaker will say something, a time, a place, whatever, and just as you're about to write it down, they pull a U-turn and correct themselves. That first piece of info, that's the bait. The correction, that's the real answer.
And this is a perfect example. You hear 3 p.m., and your hand is already moving to write it down. But then, you hear those magic words. Oh, wait, sorry. That's your signal. That's the U-turn. The speaker then gives you the actual information. It's been moved to 4 p.m. They're just checking to see if you're listening all the way to the end.
So the strategy for this is actually super simple, but so powerful. When you hear a correction phrase like, oh wait, actually, or my mistake, just pretty much ignore everything that came before it. The real answer is almost always the last piece of information they give you on that point. Okay, let's move on to the third and final distractor. And this one's maybe the most sophisticated of all. We call it the disguise, and it's about unmasking synonyms and paraphrasing. See, this trap isn't just about a simple trick. It's a real test of your vocabulary. The correct answer in the audio isn't going to use the exact words from the question. Instead, it's going to be disguised, using different words that mean the same thing. Check this out. The question on the paper might ask about something with a low cost, but in the audio, you're probably not going to hear the words low cost. Instead, you'll hear the disguise, something like, it's a very affordable option. They mean the same thing, but they're checking if your vocabulary is strong enough to connect the dots. This means your whole strategy has to level up. You can't just be hunting for specific words anymore. You have to become an idea hunter. You have to focus on understanding the overall meaning of what's being said. And that's what separates a good listener from a great one. So, now that we've unmasked these 3 traps, what does this all really mean for you? Well, this knowledge is basically a superpower. It transforms you from just being a passive listener into an active detective. So let's recap. Think of this as your new cheat sheet. For the echo, the trap is repeated keywords, but your strategy is to listen for the full meaning. For the U-turn, the trap is those self-corrections, and your strategy is knowing the last piece of info is key. And for the disguise, the trap is synonyms, so your strategy is to listen for the idea, not the exact words. And this is the most important part. When you learn how to spot these traps, you totally change the game. You're not just a victim of the test anymore. You are in control. You're anticipating the traps, you're analyzing what you hear, you're basically investigating.
So there you have it. You've got the secrets. You know the playbook. The only question left is, are you ready to put on your detective hat and go ace that test? I think you are. Good luck.